Good morning. The day has come to do the J-pipe. Now, I've lifted the car already. As you can see, it's on all fours. Now, you don't really need to jack up the back, but I did because it's just easier to get underneath, and plus I got to do the rear diff as well. So after I do the J-pipe, that will be the next video. Always put like a safety barrier underneath just in case these jack stands do fail or something happens. At least you give yourself a bit of time to get out. Now the J-pipe, so basically this is what you're gonna need. This is 2.5 inch 180, a couple of 90s and a straight piece. So ideally the J-pipe's going to go like that, straight off the exhaust manifold. Off the back there, I'll show you that. You'll end up putting a bit of straight pipe, and then you'll turn it into a 90 like that. Now the reason why I got another 90 is just in case I end up cutting this too short, or yeah, it's just good to have two. So basically, yeah, so that's going to be the section there, and it'll sit something like that, clear with the centerpiece. So if you can imagine something like that. But yeah, enough of that. I'll show you underneath. So the plan underneath is to remove just this section here. I leave the back half of the exhaust still on, just that way when you do the dump pipe, you can see where it lines up with the original exhaust, and then it's just easier to connect it if you're going to connect it, or if you're going to make a full exhaust, you can just follow that existing line. The other thing I do is I cut about this much off, so I keep the flange, and this section here I cut it about here, and then I connect the 180 from here that goes upwards. That way I've already got the flange from the original existing section, and yeah, I've already sprayed WD-40 on there, so they should be easy to take off. So let's just get straight into it. I'm just going to get some tools, and I'll set the camera down and we'll get straight into it. Don't forget to undo the exhaust hanger. I've already put the cable tie there. And that's it, that's out. So like I said, I'm just gonna take the shielding off. I'll end up cutting probably about that much, so I'll cut all that off. That will just be trash, and I'll keep this, and then I'll weld that 180 onto that. That way you don't have to worry about trying to find a flange that's going to fit that. You can just use the existing flange that's there, and I've done it a few times and it comes out pretty good. So yeah, let me get out from underneath here and we'll start cutting up this section. Okay, so for this first cut, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use the angle grinder. I mean, you can do all the cuts with the angle grinder, but I do have a drop saw, so I'm going to use that later. So the first one, I'm going to cut it as low as I can, so I'm just going to cut it straight through there, and then that way it gives me, because I'm going to end up cutting it short anyways, but it gives me more room to play with, and then I can put that back onto the car and then measure up exactly where I want to cut it to join the 180. So ideally it's going to look something like that. So something like that, and that's how you start the J-pipe. And yes, make sure you wear safety glasses. Bloody camera. So that's what you want. This is for the trash. As you can see, someone's already gutted the cat. Cheeky people. Let's take this off now. Alright, so this is what I was saying. You're going to leave that still bolted up to the flange. You end up welding that to that somewhere, depending on where it lines up perfect in the car. And yeah, that's how you start the J-pipe. So what I'm doing now is get underneath and pop this back up. What else? I also so when I get the welder out, I'll end up tacking a few tacks here and here just to keep the flange from dropping. Just makes it a lot easier for when you are doing it. That way the flange doesn't keep falling out and you don't have that issue. Make sure when you are marking it, the flange is in tight and the correct way that you want to have it. So the way this is going to go, I'm going to measure it to see. Mark it out where I want it to have to go, to where I want it to go, and I want it to sit somewhere there. So I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, basically where this is going to go, I want that to angle up and also have the smoothest joint there. So like I said, I am going to cut pretty high on it. It's probably going to sit something like that, I'd say. Yeah, somewhere there. As you can see, it clears the firewall, and it also doesn't hang too low, so it's not hanging lower than the subframe. The front cross member. And also the other thing you need to watch out for is you got to make sure you allow enough room to get the dump pipe coming through the back as well. So that's step one. So I'll mark this up now and we'll cut this a bit more and then just join these two pipes together. Okay, so I've marked it just here. My reasoning for that, like I said, it's better to cut less than more, because you can always cut more, but you can't, and you have to start adding and it gets annoying. So don't forget, like when this is going on there, like I'm measuring it from the top of here, on top of the pipe here, and it sticks out a bit. So I've also got to try clear that top section bolt here. So I reckon if I just cut that little section off there, which will be about, it should clear that bolt, depending on what angle I put it on, and it will sit up higher as well. So, and that angle is really good. I'm going to try hug it as close as possible to the transmission, because like I said, then you also got to fit like the dump pipe, and then made it up to the exhaust if you're going to use the old exhaust. I don't know what I'm doing yet. On the other build that I did on the ER, I ended up buying a 2.5 inch exhaust from like Dandy Exhaust, one of those sports exhausts with just a hot dog muffler. That sounded alright, so I might do the same with this, or I might just do a 3-inch all the way through. The other one went from 3-inch, so off the turbo I'm going to come 3-inch, and then I just put a reducer to 2.5. This is actually 2.25, I think, so I am going to need to like join it, but it's not much of a difference, so I'll be fine. Alright, let's go get the drop saw out. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it straight for now, and then I'll put it back into the car, and then I'll see if I need to cut it on a bit of an angle just to make that 180 work a bit better. But for now, I just want to get the roughly around the length I need, and then we'll muck around. Like I said, I just took the flange off, just easy to put in the drop saw. So as you can see, I've cut that much off for now. It's a good starting point. I'm not going to really muck around too much. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit because there's no doubt I'm going to end up cutting it again. So I just wanted to get some of the sharp stuff off around the outside. And let's go back underneath. I'll mount this up quickly, and then I'll show you. Okay, so the next section is quite important. When you do it like this, if you loosen this a bit, as well as both nuts, you can end up turning this because it sits on that circular flange type. So wherever you mount this now, you got to make sure you keep putting it back on the same way, because if you might mark it, well, if you don't mark it like that and you're like, oh yeah, that's where it's gonna go, then when you weld it, if you end up putting it back to front or whatever, before you end up welding this together or tack it on, or marking it, you'll have the issue of like not everything not lining up. So I'm just gonna leave it loose like that for now, just to see what works best, what flows the best. I think that is gonna be good. Can you see the? Oh, you can't. Oh, you can't really see. So I'm also trying to make sure this clears here. So I think somewhere there's going to be best, because that's close to that. Yeah, that's where I want it. Yep, that's where I want it. So I'll tighten this now. Double check it. I'm just going to walk here, and try not to put too many marks, because then you start getting confused. I put 2, just so that way when I do put it on, I'll know. This one here, I'm actually going to put make that mark on the closest one here a T. And yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'll take that off now. Again, just check the ground clearance. I could probably cut a bit more off it, so I might make that mark a bit longer, and I'll probably just go up, cut like another 10 mil off that, just so I can get some extra clearance. And I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue with the bolt. It's pretty good. I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I'll just clean that up, and like I said, I'm just going to mark this one. I'm going to make a T. And then I'll also mark the pipe with a T as well, so I know that's the way it goes. And there you go, and there's the other mark. So that one goes to that one goes to that. So now when I take it off, I'm pretty confident that it's gonna line up. And I'll also mark this bolt here, so I know that over here lines up with that bolt heading towards the back of the car. So that piece will always go in the right rotation. Not really, it doesn't really matter now, because once I tack it on, it will like the J is going to go that way. It's not going to, clearly not going to fit that way. But yeah, so the reason why I do it like this as well, clears the steering rack, and you don't have any issues with the steering rack if you're trying to weld in like a flange or whatever. So let's get the welder out and throw some tacks. I'm just going to tack the tacks in here first, just to stop the flange from going down, and that way I can warm up welding, because to be honest, I'm not the best welder, and nor I haven't done it in ages, since I did the exhaust on the S13 drift car. So yeah, I'm just going to lay down a couple of tacks here on each side, just so it stops the flange from dropping down. That's the one, and then I'll put another one on this side here. Alright, so that's that. Now as you can see, the flange won't drop, which is fun, which is a lot easier, and you're not mucking around with it. I'm just going to tack this one a bit more. So that's better. Alright, now the fun part. Let's connect this one to this one. Like I said, T with this mark. Let me get a texter and redo that mark. Okay, so I just extended that line and that line, as well as the two lines on that. So So I tried to just do it on a piece of wood, but it just wasn't going to work. So I'm going to just go off the T mark. Yeah, let's get to it. Like I said, just a couple of tacks. I'll go put it back in the car now and make sure it all lines up. If not, I'll cut them down and redo it. Alright, so far looks pretty good. Now, that's where it's gonna clear. It should be alright like that as well. So I'm just gonna tighten it up now. Like I said, you gotta tighten it, make sure, because once it's tight, it is gonna probably angle out a bit. I should have thrown 3 tacks on it, but I was just a bit worried about that second mark, so hopefully the tacks don't break. And it's gonna break. No. Alright, so as you can see, I'm happy with the way that sits. We've got clearance. I'll try giving that. We've got clearance here from the bolt, quite a bit. So I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. And the angle's pretty decent. So we'll just jump up top now, and we'll see where it goes. I'll also show you how low it sits. I mean, it is a bit low, but should be alright. Probably could have went that 10mm up a bit, but oh well. I mean, we still can. But if you see, I'm going to try to use this as a reference. That's the lowest point of the car, so it's only sitting maybe 5mm lower than it, so isn't too bad. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off, tack it properly, so it sits good. Where it's coming out of there, I'll grab. We're going to end up cutting it shorter, but that will come up for as long as I need it to go. And then I'll connect the 90 to that, and it will come somewhere over here. And then again, we'll put another straight piece on this, and then have the other 90 coming up somewhere wherever I want the turbo to sit. Yeah, like you want it not to be too close to here, so you can still access the spark plugs, but also, yeah, wherever fits really is where you're going to put it. The turbo goes just a T3 flange, so if you have a V-band, you can sort of angle the turbo the way you want. Like I said, it's just a cheap eBay, 168 bucks or whatever I paid for it. GDX 3582. I like how they put that name in it. It means nothing. Well, it means something, but you know. Alright, so let me just tack that a bit better to make sure. I might even just weld it. I think that's good where it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna weld it. Yeah, it's welded. Alright, let's get to welding. Should be interesting. so my mask isn't dimming for some reason, which is going to make it very difficult. Nope. One sec. So my welding mask, the batteries are flat in it, so it's not really dimming, so my eyes were pretty much exposed the whole time. That's why I threw the glasses on. Not good, but I'll go get batteries now because we've got a bit of welding to do today. Yeah, not the cleanest welds, but yeah, like I said, I haven't welded in ages. Sure it's going to do the job. Nothing a flapper disc won't fix, I don't think. Don't think there's any holes in it. Oh, there might be one little one there. Yeah, there is one now. So just go clean that one up. Other than that, the rest of them look pretty... It looks like it's connected. That's the main thing. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly weld that little section up there. And then I'll flapper disc it and throw it back in, I guess, and then we can start mocking up the other one. That's it. So that should be that last section done. Just trying to figure out the settings as well. Like I said, it's been ages since I've welded. So yeah, I'll flapper this down quickly and put it back in the car. Another thing too is you don't really want to flapper it too much because I mean that's the weld. I'm going to end up wrapping this anyways with exhaust wrap, so heat wrap, so you won't really see it, but yeah, let's throw it back in the car. Again, like I said, you need to tighten it just to make sure, because that will angle left and right depending on how you have it. So if you don't have this right now, when you go to make the top piece, and then if you end up putting this in differently, you'll end up misaligning and all your alignments will be out. So better to just tighten it now. Alright, so that's it. That's how the first section is going to sit. You see we cleared that bolt, so there's space there. Should be enough room here. I might want to push it over a bit actually. Should be enough room here to fit a 3-inch pipe. Yeah, actually I might just push it over a little bit that way. That way I have that little bit extra room to fit a 3-inch, to get a 3-inch through here. Like I said, that pipe will end up running straight here. I'll try hug the extractors as much as I can, and then when the dump will come down, the dump will most likely come through this section here, straight through the top here, come down, and then going straight into the original exhaust, or in line where the exhaust normally runs. But I'll just realign that, and then we'll start putting the top section on. Okay, so I've realigned that now. As you can see, it's sitting a bit more, bit closer to that bolt, but there should be still plenty of room to put the other piece on top and connect it. But that's as far left as it's going to go. Won't go any more left. The only reason why I said you need to try push it over as closely as you can is because, like I said, you're going to need the most room around here to fit that 3-inch dump, or I'm running a 3-inch, so to run a 3-inch dump through here. But yeah, that's all tight in there now, and let's go up top and throw the straight on. I just want to see how long I'm going to need it to come to where I want it to go. So I think you can see that. So basically, I'm just going to extend it probably to about, actually let me throw the 90 on there, see if the 90 lines up. You know, it's got to come up a bit. So I've got to add like maybe an inch, no, probably 2 inches. Because I want that to be roughly around here. So whatever that is plus that. So like I said, that plus the 90. I'll just sit somewhere there. Somewhere. I'll give more. Somewhere here. I think it needs to be somewhere there. But I'm going to cut there. Join that and we'll see how it goes, because the 90 also has like a bit of material on the bottom. So if it goes off that second line, it's going to sit somewhere there. But because I do need to angle it as well, there might be good to, you can't even see those marks there because those cables are in the line. Anyways, they're there. So I'll cut that and we'll come back to that. So the plan is to put that there and then join that somewhere there, and that's too high, so I already knew that. So I think I'm going to just cut on that other marker because I want it to be somewhere around there. Watch, as soon as I put some pressure on it, it's going to fall, because that's the only magnets I have. So yeah, basically it's going to sit something like that. If I was to go straight off that, it's going to sit too high. Yeah, because then I'm going to have clearance for the bonnet, so probably want to take off. Something like that, and I need to angle it 45 this way so I can sit more a lot straighter. So I'll cut that now, and then hopefully that works out the way we want it to work out. Okay, so I've put this on like a 10-degree angle. Probably needs more than that, but baby steps. So once it's coming up, it should straighten out like that. It doesn't look too bad. I think that would be fine. Can you see that? No, you can't see it. So yeah, that's what we're going for. I think it might need a bit more of an angle, but this is why you got to keep putting it in and out. So there's a bit of mucking around, constantly going in and out. No, I need to go more. Needs to be a sharper radius. Back to cutting. Okay, so I've set that at 30 degrees now. I've got a meter to muck around with, so if this doesn't work, we might have to just cut another piece. As you can see now, it's going to be more of an angle on here. Maybe too much of an angle, but I'm just going to throw it in and see how it turns out. It does kink the... I'll probably cut this on a slight angle as well to match that. Then that should straighten it out enough where it will run parallel. You can't really see that angle correctly, but I'll try to show you from the front here. So if that joins on there, the pipe would have been straight. So that runs straight there. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. I've remarked it on that other pipe as well, so I know where to line that up. So I might just tack that in, but and then I'll slice this up a little bit to match that same angle. So then that will be, it's going to go like that. So I'll slice that so it sort of has that same angle and has a bit better flow, because at the moment it's a bit janky. Anyways, I've got to go get some batteries for that welding mask, so I'll be back with yeah, when we do this section. Okay, so I just realized that the last couple of clips didn't have audio, so I'll just let you know where we're at. So I might do a voiceover in the actual video. So I was saying that that's all cleared there, which is good. Now I've welded that on. You should probably tack that on first, but I've done this a couple of times before, so I'm pretty confident that's how I want it anyways. But if you're doing this for the first time, maybe just tack it, put it in. It might take a bit longer, but you're better off doing it right the first time, or else you're just going to be cutting this up and then try and do another part now, another section for it. So yeah, I just came back from a fork because my battery was flat in the welding mask, so I had to go get that. And I also bought that magnet wherever it is, which you would have seen me when I was welding that piece up. So now what I'm going to do is get a 90. I tried to cut this before I left to go get the battery, but it didn't really fit in the drop saw, so I'm gonna have to cut that one by hand. As you can see, like I ended up making the angle on the wrong side, so I'm just gonna cut this again, which is fine because I know I was gonna cut it shorter anyways, so it's gonna sit somewhere around there. And yeah, so I'm going to just try and mimic that angle there, and once I mimic that, then all going well. That's ideally how I want it to sit, and that will come out straight. And then put another straight section here, and then another 90 going up, and that's where the turbo will sit when I'll put the flange on it. Depending on what flange you have, if you've got a V-band flange, then V-band turbo, then it will be a lot easier because then you can angle the turbo whichever way you want. I'm going to try hug the headers as close as possible, so if the turbo sits somewhere around here, it gives me that easy access for the exhaust dump pipe to come straight out and go down and into that little crevice there. So I'll try cut this on the correct angle that I need. I'll mark it up and I'll show you once we're done that. Alright, so for some reason the GoPro didn't record the last clip. I must have pressed the button twice. So I've just welded that top section on as well and cleaned that up a bit. Now you need to be careful when you make this because it's going to get harder and harder to put in the actual car now, just because the amount of angles. So what I'll do is I'm going to put it in now, and then we only got like 2 more sections to do, which is that straight section, and then clearly the upward section that's going to be depending on how whereabouts I want the turbo to sit. So I'll fit that up, and I'll put the camera underneath so you guys can see how difficult it's getting. I hope there's audio on it. There should be audio. If not, I'll just do the voiceover. Alright, so you'll see now it's starting to get a bit difficult to start putting it in, so you got to start working with some different angles. As you can see, that's all in. Close to there, it was actually touching a bit on that lip on the firewall, so I might just need to hammer that down a bit. But yeah, I'll show what it looks like from up top. See, the angle does go a bit this way, but like I said, I want to hug it more towards the headers, because I will end up making a bracket off the headers to suit onto that. Probably could have gone a bit more left, but it is what it is. So now it's just going to be a matter of cutting some straight tube to see where I want the turbo to sit, and then I'll grab the other 90 and that'll sit. Clearly that's going to be cut down, so it will sit lower. So depending on where I cut it, the turbo will sit lower. But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna say I want the turbo to sit somewhere here. Actually, I'll go grab the turbo now so you can see it, and I'll change my GoPro battery because it's about to die. Okay, so this is the turbo. It's a where does it even say it? Made in China. Oh, doesn't say anything on it. I think there's any other stickers on it. No. So this is it. Hopefully there's no wind noise because it's getting a bit windy. A few gaskets in there. Oh yeah, 3582. So yeah, let me get the camera so I can show you where I want the turbo to sit. I don't have to come too much. I could probably just put the 90 straight onto it, but I'll just see how I'm going to do that. But yeah, ideally I want the turbo somewhere here. I'll take this cap off and then I can run a pod filter or a short pod filter to it. But yeah, that's the angle I'm going to go for. I'm going to clock the turbo as well, so it will point the right direction, and then I can also get my exhaust manifold, the exhaust downpipe going back. Do you wonder if I can put it just here? So yeah, I'll muck around with it. I'll see where I want to put it and we'll take it from there. Alright, so I think I'm just going to put this 90 straight on here. Clearly I'm going to I'll cut this section down a bit. I think I'm just going to go, yeah, I'll cut it a little bit here so I can sit in more. And then I'll also cut this side here down so the turbo can sit down. Probably going to cut it to just where it starts to go up. This turbo I got here hasn't got an internal wastegate. Probably should have bought one with internal wastegate, make things a bit easier, but I'll end up just buying a cheap wastegate and putting it onto the housing, and then just run the dump screamer pipe either out the bonnet, but being a street car I might want to take it down. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to cut that shorter a bit because I need it to sit in more, so I'll probably sit somewhere there. And the turbo obviously somewhere. The only issue is really going to be is try to do this number 4 spark plug, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so there we have it. I'm going to weld that to that now, put the flange on here, and that's the J-pipe done. It's a bit hard to let me get the magnet one sec. So the turbo is going to sit somewhere there, and yeah, it'll give us enough room to put our dump pipe through that little gap there. Okay, so there you go, it's welded on. I also got a flange for it too. I'm not going to put this on yet just because I need to weld some nuts on underneath. So the only reason why is that it's a bit tight under, not really tight, but it's just easier if you just got the nuts already there and you can just thread the bolt straight through the top. So I'm going to do that, but I haven't got any nuts here, so I'll need to get some of that. Other than that, this is how the turbo is going to sit. I do need to clock the turbo a bit. But anyways, you get the idea. It's going to sit like that. He's just resting up against the head at the moment, but yeah, it is a tad high, but the bonnet should clear. I don't really care if I dent the bonnet. Like I said, I could have probably gone a bit shorter on that pipe there. Who knows, I might even do that later on, but for now I'm quite happy with it. The only shouldn't be too much of an issue to get to the spark plugs. That one will be easy. The only one that's going to be hard is number 3. But yeah, I don't know, we'll figure that out. Other than that, I'll just show you if the bonnet closes. Oh yeah, for sure it touched. So yeah, that's the J-pipe. I'd suggest you take your time with it. I did try to rush it today just because it's going to be raining the next couple of days or for the rest of the week, and today was the only good weather day. So if you take your time with it, tack it, put it in, make sure everything sits where you want to sit it. But that's basically the gist of how to make a J-pipe. Let me just pop the bonnet. Yeah, as you can see, it's did hit there, but yeah, once it's welded on, I'm not really too fast. I might actually just shorten that one pipe here, the second section, just to drop it down a bit because it looks like I've got room. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I guess the next section will be to do that flange, put the bolts through, and then we'll work on the downpipe, and then after that's in, then we'll do the cold side for the actual intercooler. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next one.